in Tiger King when Joe Exotic goes, I'm never going to be able to financially recover from this. Never going to be able to financially recover from this.
So true.
Yeah, literally. When the lady gets her arm eating off, and literally she's got like half a nub, and he goes to the office, he goes, okay everyone, I don't want you to freak out, but one of my employees got her arm ripped off, so we're gonna have to get you a rain check today. And then he turns around and he goes, I'm never gonna be able to financially recover from this.
All he was worried about was his finances.
So when I was at 123 last week and a friend of a friend bought a $1,000 bottle of Dom, D-O-M. I thought in my head, I'm never going to be able to financially recover from this. Hey guys, welcome back to the Millennial Mentality Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Agnelli, here with my co-host, Peter Price, and our guest today, Luke Dunn.
Sorry, I was swallowing in the middle of my
It's okay. We got Heath Walker in the crowd today. And it's a little FSU 2013 reunion going on.
This is a big throwback. Full circle.
Which I kind of want to hand it off to you there. Where did you guys meet?
Okay, well, as we discussed on Heath's episode, Heath and I were like good friends in high school, but then became like best friends in Tallahassee. So I was hanging out with Heath like every day, and then I didn't know Luke prior to being in Tallahassee, even though we grew up in, sort of the same area at some times.
But I was here in 9th grade, so like I missed your generation, the word.
Like my freshman class, you left and moved to Vero when I eventually got to Dwyer.
Exactly.
So we never crossed paths back home, but then when I got to Tally and was hanging out with Heath every day, you were already friends with Heath, and that's how we came to know each other.
Full bull circles.
Yeah.
Like smoking blunts every day, and that kind of brings another point.
A whole lot of...
he is not Hydroponic Pete to me.
Right.
Good name.
Luke made this clear before the podcast. He really wanted to clarify what my nickname was.
Pete the Plug.
Pete the Plug. Luke, just make sure you talk towards the mic when you talk. I want to make sure that people can...
We have our clothing drop that actually at this time will have already been live and dropped.
Right. That's dropping this Friday, Black Friday.
So... we have 5 designs coming out, a total of 25 of each design. It's a limited quantity, and we hope to sell out. But yeah, I think it's fire, and I'm so excited for that.
Hell yeah,
Thank you for the continued love and support as well on that.
Yes.
And guys, across the board, we're continuing to grow every week, and we fucking love you guys for that. So thank you.
Shout out to the subs.
Shout out to the subs.
Luke, I'm going to come off with a off-riff question
Here for
that I've been thinking about a lot today. What's your favorite sexual position?
Ooh.
Bro, that is a funny topic because this literally just happened to me.
What happened?
Not happened to me, but it kind of got brought up. So I won't even lie to you. I was just with this girl, and what was it? She said something about missionary, but I was like, that makes it sound so Christian. Like, it's one of those things where, like, if you get into it, how do you go into this without sounding weird?
It's a tough one.
Well, yeah, so, damn, how do you even go into this? So basically, in a missionary, but I'm basically full pal drive. Like, what's up?
Yeah, okay.
Grabbing ass the entire time.
Are your feet planted on the ground?
No, I'm in the bed.
In the bed. Oh, okay. Where's your power come from?
So you're in a catcher stance almost?
Catcher stance, yeah.
Oh,
what are we calling this? Well, that
sounds
kind
like
of leads towards that.
Yeah.
Nah, buddy, try it.
And her legs are up on your hips?
In a sense, and then you can kind of throw around. You can kind of dance around it, like...
Dance
around do the happy dance.
I'm going to try that one.
Dude, you'll figure it out. I'm telling you.
And this is your favorite?
It's my go-to, I could say. I mean, I'm a big...
That's what you start off with?
I mean...
Like a few kisses and he stands up and he's like, all right,
this is what we're going to do.
Assume
game plan. Yeah, exactly. No,
that's good.
I'm a generous guy, so I like to get down and personal with the box and get after it,
There we go.
Do you have a routine? Do you have a routine when you hook up with a girl for the first time? Is there kind of like a checklist you got to hit?
Again, this kind of just happened the other day because a girl threw me off and didn't let me go through my checklist, so I guess I do.
Okay.
That is, and like, it's not like step one.
Right,
but it is like just a natural progression. You kind of get into it, you go for it.
Cover the bases.
Mm-hmm. You kind of see, you've got to feel it out first. You're not just going to dive in. Like, that's not weird, but...
A little aggressive.
You tempo the aggression, and then you kind of go from there. You know, see what they put out to put what you're dishing back.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you like a girl that's more submissive or more aggressive?
No, not submissive.
No.
I want a girl that will, kind of be able to take it. I'm a bigger dude, so like I hate to say it like that. It kind of comes in natural proportion. So
Yeah, sure.
not choking. Now, this is gonna get weird, but at the same time, like she better be biting my thumb while I'm just getting after it,
okay.
Or like,
All right.
All right.
you
Well,
kind of
yeah,
get into it.
yeah.
Pal driving.
Yeah.
Pile driving.
Pal.
And you like the dirty talk and the whole accessory that comes along with that bit.
That,
But
I
I'm
feel like
also
is
a
an
universal
important
guy.
point.
That is just one in my repertoire.
Okay.
So it's more or less like that is one. Just I'm gonna say, yeah, it's my go-to. So
Yeah.
whatever you want to call that.
Sure.
And not to put you and Joe on blast now, but would you have a favorite sexual position?
Go in. I just did.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know that we have a favorite, but I think we've got a little bit of like
A routine
What's your
a
go-to?
routine.
Yeah, routine.
But as I was saying it out loud, I feel like some people might think that's a bad thing, you know?
I think
like
every
it's the
couple
same
that's
every
been
time.
together for a while has
Has
a
the routine.
But
and it's not in a bad way. It's just we, I think, both know what we like
Yeah.
at this point, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
Why do the other stuff that
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
care about as much?
But if you change it up, is it like a good thing, or you kind of
Yeah,
like,
right.
Spice it up a little
Sure,
bit,
of
yeah.
course.
Once in a
That's
while.
when you're feeling spicy. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, come on, lay it on the snake. What you got?
Yeah.
I would like to be on the bottom.
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's
my
always
favorite
fun.
position.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's kind of lazy. You
lazy,
you gotta be you gotta be a giver sometimes. You gotta be
well,
the
that's
man,
it.
dominant figure.
I mean,
know?
you can do it from down there. It's just
Oh,
a
100.
lot more work then.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Work
but
on the core,
Yeah.
100.
But it comes
again,
correct.
you gotta find out what the partner enjoys, and
Sure,
then you
yeah.
gotta hit those marks. And
Checking boxes.
just slinging dick.
Slinging dick. Merch drop, Black Friday.
Bet. So, Luke,
Yeah.
now in today's world, are you openly looking for women? Are you out and about? Are you talking to someone? Tell me through that.
All
You
right,
pile
so
driving anyone these days?
I am. I really
Nice.
am.
Good for you.
She's a good girl. Met her
Good for her.
2 years ago randomly, and then kind of came back. You know how just things kind of come back in. And yeah, she's just kind of cut from the same cloth. It's just breath of fresh air in a sense where I'm like, I haven't been this comfortable with a girl in a while, and when I say it, I haven't even dated. I've talked to a few good girls. Nothing clicked. This one just clicks. When it fits, it fits,
You're a relationship guy?
I want to be in one, but it is nice to be single, I will say. It's just kind of, you mind your own business, but once you do find that girl, it is, now you're working for something, so
You ever been in a long relationship?
Oh yeah, I was in a long one, that's how they knew me.
Right, when I first
100.
met Luke, he was in a long relationship.
Okay.
Do you think that you're more productive or less productive when you're in a relationship?
Depends on how the relationship is going. Right now, I am super fucking productive.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that, it does a
inspirationally
lot to
productive.
do with the partner, right?
Oh yeah.
But now that we're getting older, I feel like another characteristic which we even talked about earlier, a characteristic that I feel like we're all looking for when we're choosing who we want to spend our time with is someone that either shares common goals or like common levels of ambition, so you guys are going to support
Ambition
each
is a
other.
big one.
Right.
It's also a hype man. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm not going to say no until I have to. Like,
Yeah.
let's say yes until we can.
Yeah,
You know?
Well, you also seek your partner's approval. Like if you have a concept, right? The first person you're probably going to go to with that concept is your girl, right?
Yeah. It's fresh off the head.
It's the person you see the most time every day, and whatever.
You trust. That's another
So
big thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to come to them with all these ideas, and as I always say, they have to look at you and be a hype woman, for those ideas.
Yeah.
Half the time they might think, "Wow, that motherfucker's crazy," or like, But
To that point too, do you think that can be a downside? Like I really don't want JoJo telling me something's fire when it's not. Like if I'm if I'm saying the wrong thing,
that's the
Exactly.
loyalty. You have to say yes until you can say no. Until you have to say no.
Yeah.
Say, hey, why do you think it's fire?
Right.
Like, sell me on this almost.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, this girl I'm with, that's another big thing. Like, same goals, similar interests, which is nice. But like, I mean, she runs her own business and started a side hustle that's probably making just as much. And this is not just a small business; it's a full-scale business with a couple employees. Like, she's running shit. Like, that's the ambition I need. If you want to look for equality in a girl, it is going to be a power lady. Like, you better be not, anything but a boss. Because, not that I have big goals and big ambitions, but I can't have somebody who's just like, oh, why would you want to do that when you could be just chilling and
Right.
you know getting it done? No, I want to be like, what's the
Ambitious.
tip top I can get,
Yeah.
and I want to figure it out and not just be, oh yes. No, it's more like how are we gonna do it?
Right.
Like yes,
And I
until
don't
I have to
think
say
like
no.
I'm agreeing with you, but also to that point, like I don't think she has to necessarily be like a boss bitch in business, you know, or has to like want to build companies or something. You know,
That's
she
just
could be
mine. That's
real
just
good
my
at,
preference.
like,
Everyone is to each its
anything,
own.
whatever her, you know,
better be good at
passions are. You
Yeah.
know, I think passion maybe might be the word that I'm looking for. Like being passionate about something and ambitious about
yeah.
something.
But that's also sexy within itself.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
you know
right.
what you want. Like you're not just should I? No, it's like I'm gonna go do this.
Right.
Word.
We'll
Let me know
figure
how
it
it
out.
goes. Let me tell. Like ask me if I can do anything. You know, I'm
Yeah,
here
sure.
for you.
you
That's
believe-
another thing. Being there for them.
Yeah.
Do you believe that in today's society, there's like, we'll talk for males, like everyone's an alpha or beta? Like, do you believe that you're an
100.
alpha male, or do you think that's kind of like
Going into hunting, yeah, there are alpha males. There are alpha situations. It's just an animal instinct. Like you have to know, and to each its own. And I live in a very, softer area in a sense where like the dudes there are more compassionate. They're
Yeah.
like more blah, so on and so
So
forth.
what is an alpha male to you?
You get shit done. You got to do what you got to do for the family to support yourself. Don't be a f off and.
So do you think you can do that while being compassionate though, and being
Well,
Yeah, let me
compassion
ask
is
you
in
this.
it,
What's
but
a beta? What makes someone a beta?
Yeah.
Is it the compassion that makes you
No,
a beta?
compassion is not a beta.
Right,
trait.
right. So
That
what
is
are
an
the
understanding
beta
within itself.
characteristics?
passive?
I don't know how to say it
Well, this
PC,
is
I'll
my
tell
question
you
because I
that.
thought about it the other day, and I'm like, I don't know if that truly like back in the primal, 100 BC. I'm sure there was alpha males. That was natural selection.
Yeah.
But in today's world, like, is there an alpha male and is there a beta male, and
Right.
like, is it an ego thing or is it like a?
Because I mean, when you think of Mark Zuckerberg, do you think of alpha male?
no.
Yeah.
Right. You do?
He's definitely a beta, but dude, that mind don't quit. Obviously, you
Sure.
started an empire, so that's like
for me, that's like kind
you-
of a gray
you-
line now.
No, but you
know?
are an alpha at that point because you run an empire.
You
Like,
think he
that-
could
I
fucking
think it's
survive
like
in a hunt though?
I
You
think
know, if
we
you throw
are
him in the woods.
No, but
Right.
he doesn't need to because he's richer than shit. Like
Sure.
So if you think about it, we are pack like. So there is always a leader. That was what an alpha is, leading somebody. Like you,
Okay.
you
That's
can
a good
join a group, and you lead, follow, or get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to drag down the group, you're a beta. But if you're leading the group or contributing to the group, you are doing what your role is in life.
Nice. That was
make
well said.
sense.
Yeah, that was
Wow, that was fresh off the dome.
good. Nice.
Let's
You
go.
said that good.
So do you think you're an alpha?
100.
I would like to think so, but then
Yeah.
when he threw the compassion word out there, I was, well, I also think I'm pretty compassionate.
He's the
and
nicest man I've
understanding,
ever met in my
like,
life.
yeah.
That does not make him soft because he'd whoop your fucking ass.
Yeah, that's
Like,
right.
I think
Yeah.
that to be like an alpha or to really be, the ideal form, you have to have like some of the beta qualities at the right moments too, Like I think there's a time and a place for
Most scenarios.
both sides of it.
But also, like,
Cuz sometimes
It's
like
not beta
the person
qualities.
that's always a leader can sometimes like hinder the team, Sometimes you're not right
Well,
just
that's
cuz you
the
got the
thing.
leader characteristics, you might be wrong, And
well, if you're considering beta being compassionate, compassion is part of understanding too. So you don't
Sure.
you don't know how to lead if you don't understand what you're leading.
yes.
So you're actually hurting the group. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight you for alpha position because you're a beta.
Right,
Like you're
right.
actually a beta. So if you think about it in like animalistic terms and then go from there into
Mm-hmm.
today's society, like, are you hindering this group or what?
Right.
You know?
So to jump off that, you're a realtor.
Yes.
Okay, and when did you start in that industry?
Oh man, so I actually grew up in it in a sense because going back and forth, that's how I met Heath. I like 50% of Americans these days came from divorced parents.
Yeah.
So came up and down the East Coast from back and forth to Massachusetts to Florida. So from bouncing back and forth, I'd go up there every summer and play lacrosse and work for a property management company.
Okay.
That property management company just happened to be my stepfamily's company.
Okay.
It was sick. So like you're flipping units. It was everything that I kind of wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a landlord early.
Okay.
So my ultimate goal is to acquire real estate and then go from there.
Yeah.
Like, and that real estate is a wide variety of jobs. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy to me. So what I want to do is eventually be a luxury real estate, like not luxury real estate, but luxury rentals. Like they're already furnished. I kind of want a hunt camper too, where you can go and leaf peep or literally go and just hunt this land and it's already prepped and ready. And like, if you kind of get into hunting, you realize like you can do some land work to like make a habitat, for example. Or the one that I currently own is off my garage. It's a studio, fully furnished. it was getting rented for $1,000 a month before I got it. I have it up to 18 now because it's furnished, all included. You can only rent it month to month but like under 3 months, unless I like you know. So getting into real estate was that property management. When I graduated college, I could have gone out west and done a commercial gig. But that's just
Commercial real estate, you're talking
commercial
about.
real estate. But that's like a grind to a point where you don't even know if you're going to make it. This, I was also offered obviously the family was like, they also own a real estate brokerage. So it's like two separate things. It kind of was worked through the family where one side of the family is in timber and the other got into real estate because that timber company started building and they needed someone to sell. This is like in the 60s. And then acquired by my stepfather in the 90s. So I kind of went back and forth. I liked what he was doing. I've understood real estate was like an escape. Like you could retire at 45 if you do that really well. Correct. And that is my goal, which I probably will never get out of it until I literally can't move. But I'm going to have that financial backing from my portfolio of real estate rentals and so on and so forth. So to be an agent, I've been learning selfishly too much. It is so much fun. You get to help people. You get to find them their home. I'm helping people like us right now. You're a contractor, correct? Don't you love living in this home? Yeah. A lot of people are very scared. My goal, honestly, is to tell people it is hard. If you're willing to work for it, it is the most. I don't know how to describe it, but you want to talk about an alpha, you turn into a weird. Like, I'm full dad mode after getting my house. You should see my lawn. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. And I live in the north. They do the natural landscape there. No, I got a nice lawn. I seeded for the first time. I cleared some land. Like, dude, I went in.
That's awesome. But I'll be honest with you, us three are all in different sectors of this whole real estate.
Yeah, he's an appraiser.
Bloom right now. He's appraising, you're selling and managing, and I'm building. I don't really like where we're at right now, though. I mean, we're so busy. There's so much being...
This is something I wanted to bring up.
Just slide your chair a little closer.
Can do, will do.
Thank you.
We're so busy. There's so much business and so much money being thrown out. But I don't really like it because it kind of makes me feel uneasy about the whole situation.
Oh, we're going to see a little bit of a fall off.
There has to be. There has to be.
You want to talk about that?
Is that what you're feeling uneasy about, that it's too high?
The labor right now and what guys are asking and the volatility of the money being thrown, especially down in South Florida, is ridiculous, Pete. Guys will drop your job. Like for subcontractors, they'll drop my job the next day because they'll have another contractor who's willing to pay them double because their client wants to move from New York, get the tax break, so they'll pay an extra $250,000 to get that house done in an extra 2 months.
Piss poor.
That's what I'm saying. That type of money is going to be
brings back to loyalty.
Yeah.
Are you hurting? Or are you helping?
But that's the volatility of the thing right now because the laborers are like, I can make $250 today or I can make $500.
Right. Yeah, I totally understand it.
So really in my industry right now, who's running it is the laborer. The laborers, it's starting at the bottom and they're really running it because the guys who run the laborers, whether it be the foreman or the company owners, they can't get guys to show up because they know they're either going to have to pay X or no one's going to show up.
Yeah.
That's the vault because there's not enough people in the labor market right now. There's not enough people in the trades. Yeah. There's not enough people to do the actual work. We want to talk about kicking out illegals, which I think you should be a legal citizen in this country. If they kicked out all the illegals, there would be no fucking work being done. That's fact, and that's something that no one wants to talk about.
Well, that's what sucks. Yeah, you don't want to get. It's always don't get political. Yeah. No, it is. Our government is giving you $600 extra plus the pay you were getting, so you at least have to match that.
Well, yeah.
Right. And now with the increase in hourly wage in general, you're looking at buku labor numbers.
Yeah.
So now you're almost breaking even on deals, and you got to be profiting out the ass to continue your business flowing. Yeah. So a lot of small-time people are going under because of that. They can't find work. It's like...
We went through it at the restaurant, too, and I was still with Lenora's during the peak of COVID, and, things were starting to open back up, though. The restrictions were getting lifted. It wasn't takeout only anymore. We started at, 25% occupancy, whatever it was. So we start staffing up again because everyone got laid off, and when we started reaching out to people to have them come get their jobs back, at this point they've been on unemployment for 6 months. They've been collecting $600 a week.
That's easy money. You want to talk about something I would do, but I don't think I could live on that lifestyle.
Right.
And so we're useful, dude.
Half of these people who we offered their jobs back didn't take it, And then we were setting up interviews every single day to start,
exactly where you're going
hiring
with
new
this.
people. And I'd have like 10 interviews scheduled for the day. 3 might show up.
That's insane.
No, check this
And
out.
then I like one of the 3 that show up, offer them the job, and they'll be like, so what can I expect to make per week? Because they want to gauge if it's going to be more than their unemployment benefits.
I'll tell you this right now. The people who set appointments, all they got to do is prove that they're actively looking for work.
To keep their unemployment.
Yeah.
It's a weird system going
That
on.
makes so
right
much
now.
sense.
So, and it's happening around my area too. Like, people are like, okay, we just found a banger candidate.
Right.
He's starting on Monday. Will never show up.
Never shows up.
So that's again,
Right.
like, you can't, like, that's why small businesses are going under right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's across the board,
But
from
that's
contractor
the fucking thing that pisses me
to
off.
grocery
That's
stores.
That's what affects the first is the small businesses, and that's what pisses me off because I'm part of a small business. A lot of us are part of small businesses,
hard.
and those are the ones that get fucking ran over because they can't.
But you're the man in this situation, so
That's
you
it.
have no sympathy.
No.
Yet you're supplying a job in an economy, basically, and paying taxes off that. So,
Yeah.
like, they wouldn't even be anything without you. They wouldn't even have their money without
Correct.
you being in business.
And the crazy thing is like these foremen and these bosses, they're paying all their guys cash too.
100.
So, like, say my foreman in his business will make $1 million a year. He'll actually make 100,000, but he's paying out 900,000, and he's paying taxes on that too because his guys are untaxed.
Yeah.
And so unless they're getting a tax credit or a tax card, none of this shit's getting taxed. And there's no workers' comp on this shit. So our industry is so volatile in that fact because it's the Wild West, bro. Anyone shows up, anyone could work. It's so
But
different.
if you are,
Is the
you're making
catalyst
money, dude.
Yeah.
unemployment benefits? Is that what caused this issue?
Well, again, the employment insurance went up 9%. So any business taking a 9% extra, anything is holy crap.
Yeah.
Now we got to benefit that, and that's real trickle down. Like, you're gonna see that when you pay for it, and you're gonna see it in your employee numbers. Like,
Well, I find very few companies these days that actually offer like full financial benefits. Like any restaurant that I've ever worked for that offered health insurance, it wasn't provided by the company. It was the amount that they were paying for the health insurance was just taken out of your paycheck.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was just like you were getting it through them.
Yeah.
But
like, it
it's
helps
not like
you,
you're
like, hey,
really
we're gonna be
getting
responsible
benefits.
for your money, but like,
I mean,
would do
the
that.
Breakers
Hell yeah.
Hotel is a great example, and I mean, forgive me if I'm speaking incorrectly here for anyone that works there. I didn't work at the Breakers, but I have a friend that works at the Breakers, and he's kind of trying to decide whether or not he wants to keep his job right now because he's not making the money he should be making. He's got other opportunities that are more interesting, but the thing that's lacking in any of the other opportunities is there's no insurance or benefits,
Benefits,
But
Well,
I was
that's
like,
another
okay,
thing.
well,
This is
Get
going to be
private.
a huge entrepreneurial boom. Like, everyone was out of work and they just started picking up crafts.
right.
or-
I
and
think
then
the
being
trade
like,
is
"Holy
making a
shit."
comeback out of necessity.
I
Dude,
think it is
if you
too.
jumped into the trades and started a business out of it, it's so lack of actual tradesmen that there's so much work.
It's ridiculous.
Anybody could be a millionaire. I
Yeah.
literally said this to you earlier.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
dude,
It's
an
true.
electrician and a plumber and then a contractor.
I mean,
Be
even
one of
look
those
at fucking
things.
YouTubers, Like now, you can make money. Podcasters, Like
Well, look at these people who are like now making earrings, like little trinkets,
Sure.
like, that
Yeah.
started off as a side hustle to kind of entertain your time when you didn't have a
Right.
job,
Put an Etsy store up and now you're making
and now
six figures.
you had to put an LLC to it and get its own bank account.
Right.
Like,
Fuck,
that's
this time
nuts.
last year, I was paying my bills by selling painted skateboards and pieces of art.
That's true.
which I need one still.
In between
so
tattoos that
let's
I
get
could
another
do.
drop going.
100%.
But
it's like I agree. We're like in the age of the entrepreneur right now.
I'm very interested.
Look at
to
these
see-
high schoolers that are making so much money. Sorry. to
Yeah,
interrupt,
but I get to that too. I question because it's so easy to front and show a Shopify number. That's you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
There's
but if you're
definitely
actually
people
doing
fronting.
numbers-
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of
You
people
know
fronting,
who's-
but there's kids doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
and
Yeah.
crushing it.
There's no excuse in today's world. Absolutely zero. I don't believe anything.
Oh, if you grind in America, you're gonna make it. You're
and
gonna
that's
make
why
a
I say we're
dollar.
the best country in the fucking world, hands down. Nothing even close.
Bro, this kid that was in my
Amen.
tattoo shop the other day was a friend of the person getting tatted. And these kids were like 18, 19 years old, looked young, And the kid that he brought with him looked just as young. He's sitting on the couch while his boy gets tatted, and we're all just kind of talking, shooting the shit. And his boy is like, oh yeah, like he resells sneakers, like he's a sneaker reseller.
My boy is a sneakerhead, and it's holy crap, dude.
Right, everyone's got a boy that's a sneakerhead, right? So that's
Yeah.
what I thought too. I'm like, oh
That's
yeah,
a sick lifestyle.
that's
right there.
cool, Like I like sneakers too. That's cool. I'm like, there's my business card right there. Like, follow me on Instagram. So I've got you on Instagram in case I ever need some shoes. You know, he's like, oh, okay, bet. Follows me on Instagram. I go outside to smoke before we start. I'm looking at his Instagram. Every single picture, he's got a picture with the baby. He's got a picture with Future. He's got a picture with 42 Doug. He's got a picture with.
You can't judge anyone just because they're not in a suit anymore.
I went back in there. I go, what the fuck, bro? You're the plug. Why were you so humble about that? And he's like, you know.
Yeah, because when you're actually successful, you don't want to be boasting.
The kid's 17 or 18 years old. I swear to God.
That's insane, dude.
I'm telling you.
Who's that? The little white kid that blew up with DJ Khaled down in Miami. The plug. He was a sneaker plug.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Ben or something.
Yeah.
Benjamin Kicks.
That's it.
Yeah.
Jamie over there says, yeah.
He's like Benjamin Kicks. It's the same thing.
And back, the last thing I'll say about the U.S. being the greatest country in the world is, listen, we have a lot of things to improve on, and I think that we are decade by decade improving. I think that our generation's more aware than any other one, and I think that we got a lot of work to do, but we're getting there. But anyone who says that it's not, listen to what
line up right there for you.
Listen to what they say after they say it's not the best country in the world, and I guarantee you they're going to be taking a victim approach to anything they say. And I'm not getting political with this, and this is no political association, but if you view our country and you want to take what you want by the balls and you want to take massive action, it's right there in front of you. There's nothing there's nothing that's stopping you. And I don't care what color, gender, race you are, ethnicity, any of the above in today's world. If you want to make it, there's someone who has done it basically at this point. So know that. So on a little bit of a, as I was saying, on a little bit of a lighter note, Luke.
Yeah, bring it on.
If you were to die tomorrow, what would you do in the next 12 hours?
On a lighter note.
What would you go do?
Does it have to be like right now? Because we're at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I'd probably go party my balls off, but at the same time, if it was like...
Would you go party or would you go see your family?
12. I guess I'm close enough to my family. Yeah, I think I'm close enough to my family, but I get emotional.
But there's
That's
also
an emotional question right there.
A good group of friends that I would want to go, like, kind of rip it with.
Or you just
party,
say,
you know?
hey, I'm going to be at this bar, I'm going to die in 12 hours, and you'll see who the real ones are.
Yeah.
If they show up, they show up.
It's a little bit of both, you know?
Where's the Cougar Water? I want to try one of those.
86.
86 Cougar Water.
Sorry.
Shout out Cougar
good.
Water.
Heath snatched the last one.
Hey, these lemons are actually pretty
You
fire.
can hear the remorse in his voice.
So
if you guys
some
were
up, I
ever
forgot.
curious, you know, like what the vibe is like over here when we're recording these podcasts, just to put things in perspective, Nick's toes are out right now.
My toes.
He's got no shoes on, no socks.
shoes.
As he preaches this stuff, he's wiggling his toes under the
Wiggling my
table.
toes.
It's actually comfortable. Like I'm an avid fan. Like I'm fanboying right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, dude, this is comfy, dude. This is sick. It's
Good,
really
I'm glad.
like-
Thank you.
And I said it's like half of it is showing. Like what is that? That's saying 90% is showing up.
Yeah, right.
That other 2% is how you fucking do it. And you
Thanks,
guys,
Totally.
if you look quality, you will be quality.
That's it.
I
Thank you.
enjoy watching you guys.
We
Like,
appreciate
Thank
that.
you, man.
cheers to both of you. You're
Thank
like
you,
yin
bro.
and yang and like
Appreciate
complement
that.
each other perfectly.
Thank you,
This
bro.
thing is going well. Very well.
Thank you, man. It means a lot.
Ask Pete, man. I was showering him in compliments the entire
We
time.
watched Natalie's episode while he was getting tatted.
Really good episode.
Yeah,
Very
it
good.
was a good one.
I like
Shout
your
out
idea
Natalie.
on time. You want to relate that back to real estate?
What?
Showing up on time.
It's fucking huge, man.
Huge.
It's huge.
Called him all pissed
We were
off.
an hour and a half
30
late
minutes.
today.
Because of you?
Well, I mean, the
Both
tattoo
of
took
us.
longer than I thought.
Oh, for
We
you
didn't
you're talking about.
today,
We
yeah,
didn't even fully finish, but like the black and white looks good. I wish I could give you guys a close up.
Why'd that get pushed
I'll
back?
put a picture on the screen.
Yeah.
I got pics.
right here.
Yeah.
What was your first tattoo?
That's me. I did that.
My first tattoo, actually, this boy came with.
Yeah, that's right.
Tallahassee?
Yeah, remember that in front of Baja's?
Yeah.
That was this one right here, and all these. You a Marine? Or
Damn
not a
it.
Marine? You in the Navy? I'm like, oh shit, now I'm a poser. And
Did
like,
I make a
nah,
mistake?
No, just like a beach town, like whatever. So that was my first one. Kind of went big and bad, and then went black and white and big and bad ever since. Like,
Yeah.
What was your favorite tally bar?
ooh, depends on what mood I was in, but Baja's still takes the cake.
See, I've never been in this spot.
It
Who
was
posted
four-
pictures
it
of
was like
Baja's
4
the
for
other
The
one.
other day, yeah.
Yeah.
That was classic.
The
I'm
10
gonna try and
the 10
find
for
that. I'll
ones?
put that on the screen if I can. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Like you can have any vibe in there if you want to go. Well, you're never vibing, but at the same time, like if you wanted
You're
to party
never
balls,
vibing.
or if you wanted to just kind of like go out and not really be shoulder to shoulder. Like
Bro,
standard
my
had to be
only
my favorite
memory-
bar, but at the same time,
Did
like,
we tell this story on your episode?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, let's tell this.
Maybe. I don't
We
know.
might have. I don't know.
bring it on, dude?
All right, let's tell it again. Fuck it. If you guys already heard this story,
I think we were keeping it light.
All right, cool. So me and Heath have a
Tread
vivid Baja's memory. Luke, you might have been there just because I feel like you were always with us when we went out. But it was my birthday, right?
No, it was my birthday.
It was Heath's birthday in Tally. And we go to Baja's. We've got a little bit of a squad. It's me, Heath, and Vinny specifically, I remember. I'm sure we were with a squad, you know? But me, Heath, and Vinny are standing there. And at the time, I was talking to this girl, Shannon. And I'm standing there talking to her, blah, blah, blah. We're at Baja's. Just, you know, the place is fucking booming.
Oh, if it's
packed.
the Shannon I know.
Yeah, it's the Shannon, you know.
Dude, if it's the Shannon I know, dude, that girl is probably the most dope human being
Hell yeah.
I've ever met in my life.
She was the best. It is the Shannon.
Shout out to the Shannon.
Shout out Shannon. So we're standing there talking at Baja's, and Shannon, I hope you remember this story because it's got to be hilarious to hear from that perspective.
Oh, that's
also.
me. Oh, wait, I do.
Right. So we're standing there just talking, shooting the shit. This kid walks by and drops his phone. And Shannon, being the nice girl that she is, sees that, picks up the phone, taps him on the shoulder, and is like,
Hey, here, you dropped this.
and this guy must have just been blacked out or something because he turns around and looks at her sideways like,
What the fuck are you doing with my phone?
he doesn't say that, you know, but he just looks at her with like his
You can
fucking
see it
eyes
in their eye
crossed.
always.
And he's looking at her sideways. And I was like, hey, buddy.
Buddy.
Say thank you.
Buddy.
Good point.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, buddy.
We were
you're doing
talking
the fine
before the
thing.
camera was on that Buddy's like a disrespectful reference.
Yeah,
If
it's
I'm
not
saying-
positive.
right,
It's
If
not
I'm saying
positive.
that buddy over there, I either don't know you or probably have a problem with
Yeah.
you.
Right, right. Like, hey, buddy, say thank you and move along. You know, she just picked your phone up off the ground and give it back to you. Like, say thanks and keep moving.
That is some slide talk,
the
like
fuck's your
wanting to
problem?
fight, which is also another big tally move.
Sure. Right. Yeah. Again, we're in Tally College.
You're there
I'm like
fucking or
18-year-old
fighting.
Pete here.
I was literally talking about this the other day as well.
So,
Go
now
ahead.
he readjusts his glare to me. Now he's looking at me sideways. Like, who the fuck are you talking to? And so I say it again. I'm like, hey, bro, keep it moving. Say thanks to this girl who just gave you your phone back and keep it moving. And he just kind of now he like adjusts his feet. Where like before he was like moving past us, and now
Are
he,
you
like,
looking up to him, or are you about?
No, we're like eye and eye. I think.
Okay.
I'm also lit, you know, so
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even give a fuck really.
Yeah.
But now he squares up with me, and I just kind of look. I'm like, and I just fucking deck the dude, and I just
No
start
shit.
wailing
You
on
gotta
him.
do the one-hit quitters in Tallahassee because somebody's gonna do it right back to you.
100%.
The amount of
Really?
freaking just, all right, whomp, end of conversation, walk away.
No.
Coming in with the second one.
No,
Yeah.
we were straight. I just start wailing on this kid. He's standing right behind me, and I think he probably feels me like brush up next to him or something. Turns around and just starts wailing on the kid. Vinny turns around, what the fuck? And just starts wailing on the kid.
He caught 3 sets of hands that night.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Someone grabs me out of the like commotion, pulls me back, and is like, yo, security. And like at first I was gonna be pissed, you know, and like thinking who's grabbing me, you know, but then he goes, yo, security, chill. And so I just kind of stop. I look back at this guy, and I'm like, good looks. And sure enough, I look over, and security and cops rush in, grab the kid who we were just wailing on, yank him out.
That's the worst part of the story. That kid's the only kid that got in trouble.
The only
Really?
person that got in trouble was the kid who got his fucking ass kicked.
No
Well, that's
Yeah.
how it usually goes.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but like,
There was
hey,
no evidence that we
shout
had
out,
done anything
shout out to
happened.
homie who was like, yo, security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No,
big
100%.
time.
I looked at that kid and I was like, thank you, bro.
Dude,
Good
one
shit.
time I was at Potts, and this is like, I'm not gonna brag or anything, but this was easily my favorite fight.
I saw that kid at Publix the next day. His face was fucked up.
You saw him at Publix?
Yeah, yeah.
That's how he Publix
You always
fucked
do,
off.
dude. There was,
That was
there,
a club. That pub.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
pub club.
I saw an article at one point in time where it said like that's the number one place to make
Yeah.
to meet girls. Yeah.
to make moves.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Exactly.
Dude, there was this one time, speaking of security, it was literally a UF Florida State game, and this kid just was not, you know, the UF, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah. And I turned around like, what, buddy? Like, what's going on? There's like a picnic table, you know, behind Potts where it was just like picnic tables.
Yeah.
Garden, bro.
The garden.
Dude. Well, now they got a Big Banger garden, huh? That Big Banger, I haven't either. I just see it in like Barstool and shit. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, they got some money flowing through that school now.
Oh.
Anyways, I kid you not, dude. This kid was going off, popping off, and then he said something slick, and I just straight came up over that picnic table and just big Superman. And a security guard came, lifted me off. He goes,
Oh, dude, that was sick.
grabbed the other kid and just walked out. Like, I'm
That's
like,
so funny.
hell yeah, fuck you, F.
That's good. Yeah.
They're such nerds, I'm telling you what.
They're such
No
nerds.
hate, but you
A little
know,
bit of hate.
A little bit of hate.
I wish I could have one of them stores, you know?
You got nothing?
You weren't a fighter, bro?
I mean, I'm not a fighter either, dude.
No, but Tallahassee.
That's like one of my only
Well, I
fights.
hate
No,
to
but
say
there's
it.
levels to this. I'm not a fighter shit, and I'm like the lowest level, you know? Like I'll look up to people and I'll be like, I hate you, you know? And
That's That's
I'll
like
walk
disrespectful.
away.
I would
That's
be hurt from that.
disrespectful.
But my mom always taught me if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'm just, I'm a short king.
Short king.
Well, dude, I was just quick with the tongue, honestly. Like, if somebody said some slick shit, it's not like I'm not going to say some slick shit
No,
back.
I totally agree.
And then if in Tallahassee, testosterone ran that school.
Yeah.
You want to talk about alphas trying to be alphas and get out the fuck
Like
away?
this, yeah.
And I hate to say it, you were either on steroids
really.
or blow, and then you mix alcohol and not getting girls and whatever kind of emotions you want when you're getting like sardine canned and standard.
Right.
Emotions run high, dude.
Or
Yeah, I wanna
the fact
say-
that you got a squad
Yeah.
of 10 dudes behind you that are all in the same frat, so it's like I can talk all the shit I want because my boys are gonna get my back.
Well,
you know?
that's it. To your
Some
point,
of those
though,
didn't get your back. But
After
some
I
of
just
them
talked
you would
about wailing on a
catch
kid
all
in a
hands.
club with 3 people.
To that point, though, I think UCF, dude, the 3 times I visited FSU, it was very there's a lot of ego in that.
Hell yeah.
Face.
This,
Lot of face.
this fraternity thought it was better than this fraternity. This
Yeah.
group thought it was better than this group. So UCF really wasn't like that. Frat life was not the same at UCF as it was
It is really nowhere
FSU.
but like a few schools.
Yeah, so to be honest, when we had a big group of guys at UCF, none of us were in frats. So if we're rolling 10 or 15 deep out to a bar, the fraternity of guys had only 5 or 10 guys. So we would like outnumber them with our group.
Yeah.
So it was never really like that at all. There was one brawl that happened when I didn't go out one night between our friends in a group of fraternity guys, which I wish I could say before I die. I wish I was in like one bra, you know.
Well,
You-
December 4th at 4
Yeah,
Nightclub.
yeah,
If
right.
you want the smoke, you know where to find us.
I always
I'm just kidding, Reed. We're not gonna fight. I promise this.
I always wanted to be like about to punch someone, and then you like come over my shoulder and me get my back.
And that's
you know?
how it usually
can do
works.
that.
Because
Yeah.
oh yeah, there's been some blackout
Like,
times
I
where I
tap my
should not
hip
even
and then
been
you
talking.
No, but listen, I think a good fist fight, it's good for your blood.
It's
everyone.
good
Natural,
fun.
but it's also dangerous. I would never do that these days.
Though that's the other thing too. Is like nowadays, I feel like you can
You get
hardly
caught.
get away with it.
Yeah.
Like you're
Well,
gonna
not only
get
that-
sued, or you're gonna get arrested,
Or you're gonna get killed.
You're
Or
kind
you're
of
gonna get
grown
shot,
enough
yeah.
to know that there is a real possibility of
Yeah.
getting killed in this or killing somebody. Like
Yeah.
these fights are like they could be all fun and games in a sense, and then all of a sudden the kid hits like a curb and fucking
Right.
knocks
Well,
his
I mean,
neck,
dude,
or
at
you hit
Kachina-
someone the wrong way.
We've
Dude, you gotta have that
experienced
on your
it, bro.
hands, dude.
When I was running the club, Kachina, we
No.
had a lot of situations that were really scary, where there were like fights that would break out. Someone got smashed a highball glass, which is not. It's not a wine glass, you know. It's not like it breaks
Like a whiskey
easy.
glass
It's
type thing.
thick, yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly, a whiskey glass.
and it shattered.
Smacked over this guy's temple. Yeah, it broke, sliced him open.
No shit.
That could be bad, you know.
Yeah.
And also, that's a situation where someone could consider their life in danger and then pull their gun out and shoot somebody, you know.
Yeah,
Now you got
and
a
in the
dead
club
person.
these days, it's not
People are
hard.
packing in the club. They're not supposed to
Just
be, but
watch
they're doing
it.
it.
Yeah, but watch yourself. That's another good point. Like I carry every day.
Right.
Not anybody. It's not like I'm hoping to use it one day. No,
No,
it's like
no.
I'm like I hope my life is never in danger, but shit,
I'm
right
gonna
when
make
it
sure if
is,
it
I'm
is,
not
I'm straight.
afraid. Like it's
Right.
it's just one of those things. That's why you carry it. So
Right.
it's one of those. I don't know. I mostly do it up north for the freaking animals up there are dog shit. Like they just come about. The coyote population is over control. Like the actual dogs don't have good owners and trainers. Like if I get bit by a dog, I would pop off. But at the same time,
That's crazy, bro. Could you imagine me saying that in Florida, though? Be like, really, you know, I carry every day mostly because
Fucking
I'm scared of
awesome.
those coyotes,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
in Florida, and I was saying this to Pete, I was rolling deep with my motorcycle, a pit bike, and a nicer truck. And probably when I hit Virginia, I'm like, I'm in robbing country. Like I'm flashing my wealth right now, and
Yeah.
people just don't understand that up north because I mean it is a safer area.
Yeah.
They have different problems, but down south, you're in robbing country. Like
Yeah.
you get caught
Be the
slipping.
next
What were
lick.
you saying? You don't know who's watching.
You never know who's paying attention.
Like you got
Right.
your bike
So,
stolen because
exactly, that's why we
he
said
was
it.
always watching.
Because
Like,
I used to lock my motorcycle up every single night. You know, me and JoJo had our bikes parked right next to each other, so I'd chain the two together. Because 9 times out of 10, if someone's stealing a motorcycle, they're just throwing it in the back of a truck. It's going to be really hard to pick up 2 motorcycles at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
Not impossible, but at least make it hard. So I would chain the 2 bikes together every night. The night that I got stolen was the one night I didn't chain the 2 bikes together.
but that scam you were talking about,
Okay, so I'll
that's
get
a
to that
flawless
also.
scam, dude. I hate
So
to say
my
it like
theory
that.
at that time, because it was the one night that my bike wasn't locked that I got stolen, My theory was, okay, someone that lives in this neighborhood was
Oh,
paying
it was
attention.
out sitting in his room probably. He probably
Right.
sat down in his room, saw you pull up every night at 1 p.m.
Right.
and said, "Okay, he's
He
getting
didn't
off
lock-
his
Or,
bike."
Hey,
or
he
he's
didn't
got a
lock it up
dog or
tonight.
something.
Yeah.
Every time he walks his dog, he walks past the bike, sees if it's locked or not. This day, he walks by, sees it's not locked, calls his boy.
Or
gets the job done.
has a cousin who lives 10 streets over and just
Right, exactly, 100%.
They're right there.
So that,
It's a sketchy thought, though.
No,
it's a very sketchy
the
thought.
scam is somebody would sell it with a low jack and keep one of the keys.
right.
Because that bitch
So
rode
that's
off
what I
on
was.
it.
So my bike, when it got stolen, most people when they steal a bike, they throw it in the back of a truck or in a van and drive away on the car. My bike was rode off on. The guy who stole my bike was in my neighborhood for 3 minutes because we see him on camera coming through the front gate. 3 minutes later, he drives out on my bike. So he knew exactly where he was going, what bike he was there for, and how to start it because he was in and out in 3 minutes.
Like I said, that's pretty flawless, dude.
That's
like
very,
that's
yeah.
a good scheme.
That's a good
You don't
heist.
want to like.
So the
hype on
theory
it,
is
but-
the scam is that there's two sides to it. There's a lot of people in South Florida that will sell their bike or trade it in at a dealership with a low jack on it or a tracker so they can see where it's at. And then they'll keep the spare key because every bike, just like a car, comes with 2 sets of keys. They'll turn their bike into the dealership, just give them one key and say, oh, I lost the other, whatever. Now they just keep checking their tracker, and the day that they see the bike leaves the dealership, they know it got sold. And then they just go track it down, use their key to start it, and drive home on it.
Would never even think
And
of
9
that.
out of
But
10
I'll
bike.
go after the dealership for that because they sold me a bike with a fucking tracker on it.
No,
How the fuck
how
they
is
don't
that?
how are you
know
gonna
that,
really
you
know?
know?
They're not gonna strip
Nobody,
down that
the
bike.
whole
But
thing is
there's no
hypothetical.
wand for a fucking tracker on it.
This
You know,
isn't CSI where you get the bugs
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
some
it's
spy
not
shit.
like that.
Really, I'd be hot,
Oh,
boy.
dude.
I am hot.
Yeah.
Well,
I
let's
still
talk
pay
about
for
this.
it.
Yeah.
I'm still
All right,
paying
let's-
for the
let's
bike
get
that I
it.
don't
Let's
have.
get on a better note, but
Okay.
it's still on somewhat the same note.
Yes.
People up north are gonna watch this and be like, "What the fuck is Florida on?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: the funniest thing is to watch people's reactions when I kind of go back to my past and they're like, and I think it's normal kind of deal.
Yeah.
I can't like locate one specific one.
Yeah.
But holy crap, they're gonna listen to this and be like,
The
"Is
one,
that normal?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
it's just a way of life. Like it's
Yeah.
different, but it's like you learn up and you kind of start checking yourself. And that's another thing that the North does not have. It's like they need to check themselves a little bit more. Because
well,
things are.
everything's just more intense in Florida. Everyone goes harder. They do more. They want more.
Yeah.
It's just
It
full
is the
circle.
sun,
Yeah.
it's the energy, and it is the 365 of just summer.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's a good vibe here.
Yeah.
Like you
And
can
I
really
think
grind.
the ease of access to drugs doesn't
Yeah.
help
Oh, it
slow
never
the process,
does. No.
That whole pill mill thing that we had going on down
In
here
the
was like
90s?
the start. Even 10 years ago, it was bad. You could go to any pain clinic and get a prescription for Oxycontin.
I remember seeing those and having I'm like, pain clinic.
Pain
what
clinic.
the fuck does that even
They were
mean?
everywhere. You could just walk in
I remember
and
it
make
now.
up a pain. And
Talk about nostalgia, dude. I just went to the Abagoa Publix.
Yeah.
I used to freaking longboard those streets, bro. I smoked weed around the corner for the first time. Like,
Bro,
literally.
me too, actually.
Oh, big.
And
And
Oh,
it was
dude.
actually just the reunion of the first day that I ever smoked weed because Facebook threw the memory up. I was with Nick Velasquez the first day I ever smoked. Nick
You
Velasquez,
smoked
Brendan
weed
Brown.
today, 10 years
Shout
ago.
out to you guys. But I remember we
Nicky V, I
walked
love that
far
kid.
as fuck from like Dwyer all the way through Abacoa.
Oh, yeah.
And there was like Christmas lights up at the time because it was this time of year. And I had a picture of Nick Velasquez like staring at the Christmas lights all stoned and shit. And it just got thrown up on my
Don't you love those
Facebook
memories?
Did you get high the first time you smoked that?
Oh my god. Do you guys want to hear this story? It's a good story.
Yeah.
Of course.
So yes, a lot of people say that they don't get high the first time they smoke.
I didn't, to put it in perspective. But
And
the
I
second
believe
time,
the
I
people
got
that
big
say
lit,
it.
dude.
I believe you. That was not my experience. So
Let's tell the first.
meet up
dude,
with
yes.
Brendan Brown and Nick Velasquez. I have no problem saying Brendan Brown's full name on this fucking podcast when it comes to smoking weed because I don't think he cares at all.
No.
What about Nicky V? You're blasting his name.
Hey,
dude, we'll
Nicky
see.
V's a little vague,
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see.
If they knew all the letters that came after the
Yeah,
V,
yeah.
they deserve to know who we're talking about.
Holy crap!
You know what I'm
that
talking
kid is a
about?
force. I love that.
Absolutely.
Kid.
And Nick isn't even his real name, so we're good.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's true.
fire!
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
Who
we're
even
gonna
is
see.
Nick?
So anyway, Brendan Brown used to smoke weed in my Spanish class every single day of the year. Miss Ferrero's class. We've talked about you. Shout out Miss Ferrero. And so at this time I was straight edge, I never smoked, but I would watch Brennan smoke every day in class. And
In class?
in class, I know it sounds crazy. He had a Jansport backpack and a little spoon bowl, and he would he'd pack that thing with just enough for like one hit so he could clear it and zero it, And he'd have
That's
his-
ballsy, dude. I thought dipping in class was a big move.
This
Nah,
lady
that's
was also
smoking
on drugs.
pot,
The
dude.
teacher was on drugs, you know, and unaware
Is she
of a
still
lot of
working?
things.
Are you really gonna throw her on blast? Nah, that's
probably-
weird.
Who knows? I have no
Thanks,
idea,
Jamie.
but she deserves to be put on blast, to be honest. I didn't learn a lick of Spanish 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
See,
But Brennan would smoke out of his Jansport. He'd hit the fucking bowl, throw it in the little pouch, clear it up, and he'd just hold the hit in until he zeroed it, and then spray a little bit of Axe and blow whatever was left into the big pocket of the Jansport. And that was it. He did that
the
every...
big pocket of the Jansport. Jansports are hard, dude.
Bro,
You know
I
a cool
trapped
kid
a lot
or
of
not.
drugs out of a Jansport, dog.
You know if you were cool if that kid's rocking a high up Jansport.
I trapped a lot of drugs at the Jansport, I swear to God. But anyway, so when I decided I wanted to smoke, when that time came, I immediately hit up Brennan Brown and I said, dog, it's time. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a Dwyer football game this night. He's like, okay,
they're
meet me
always
at the
fired
game,
up.
you know, and then we'll go smoke. So I meet him at the school, me and Nick V, and we walk across the street. Evergreen was this neighborhood that was right across the street. It was like still half under development at this time, so there was like a ton of trees and like woods that were still there. So we would walk into the woods directly across from Dwyer. And this was like a known like smoke spot apparently. I didn't know about it because I wasn't a smoker yet, but the smokers knew. There's like a little path that you follow, and then there's a log like laid down, and you could see like fucking Mr. Nice Guy spice packets and fucking Four Loko cans on the ground.
The
Like,
rogue Gatorade bong.
exactly. You could tell this is where people were fucking getting bugged. And sure enough, we
Getting
walked back
bugged.
there, and these two
Haven't heard
girls
that in
are
a
like
while.
in the fucking woods smoking, and they're like, "Oh shit!" You know, we scared the fuck out of them. And so this was like the spot.
Yeah, you don't
know?
talk about that too much. You've run up on someone else smoking.
Right.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. Well, they didn't think it was sick. They were scared.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure.
But
Smoking on Mr. Spice, you're gonna get all kinds of
paranoid. That shit was crazy.
I've
I've
never
got
done
some
it,
stories
thank
about
God,
that
dude.
too. But anyway, Brennan packs this bowl and hands it to me. He goes, "You get greens, bro." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, sick.
Very
That's
nice
a
of you.
compliment.
Thank you. So I hit this thing one time. One time. Start coughing. I'm like bent over coughing.
Spitting coffee. You know when
Right.
you're spitting up?
Yeah.
You know?
I stand back up straight. And I'm standing like 15 feet further back than I remembered standing before I started coughing. Like when I hit the bowl, I thought I was standing way up there. But anyway, I stand up straight now and I'm way back here. And you know like the Nickelodeon slime?
Yeah.
I felt like that was kind of like oozing down the trees.
That's
You know,
not
and
good.
okay, so this is
Oh,
where it
you were
starts
big
to sound
trippy, huh?
ridiculous, you know, because I'm like
Oh,
hallucinating,
weed,
you
dude.
know,
Yeah.
which doesn't happen on weed. Man, I smoke like 7
Yeah,
backwoods
that's when
a
you
day.
eat an edible, you can get a little trippy sesh, but that's
I don't know
another
what
story.
happened. I hit this bowl one time. I'm telling you, there's Nickelodeon slime kind of oozing down the trees, and
I'll
then
tell you
like
what.
the TV static when you like switch to a channel that doesn't exist, and it's like, that was like kind of moving around on the ground, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I like turn around, I start walking out of the woods to get back to like the road and the sidewalk, and Brennan can tell I'm tripping. And so he starts talking in like this weird fucking voice and like this high pitched
Oh, one
voice,
of
and he's
those,
just
yep.
fucking with me, you know. And so then I start freaking out, thinking, "Oh my god, my ears are fucked up," because they were ringing at the time too. As soon as I stood back up, my ears were
Yeah, why is
ringing.
that a thing?
I don't know. I hate it though. It
Dude,
always
still
makes me
happens
think
to
I'm
me.
about to go back into this
Dude, it still happens to me
trance.
to this day sometimes.
I know, me too. So whatever. Now I'm standing there outside the woods. Nick and Brendan just smoke. They're fine, and I'm freaking out a little bit. You know, like I'm not saying anything, but in my head I'm freaking out. My ears are ringing. They feel like hot, and I just feel weird. And so they're like, "All right, let's walk to McDonald's. We'll get you some food, bro. Like you'll be good." And I'm like, "Nah, like I just want to lay down. Can I just lay down? Let me just lay down." And we're like on Military Trail, you know. I'm asking to lay down on the sidewalk on Military Trail. And they're like, "No, Pete, no, you
Just do it in
can't
the
lay
grass,
down
alright?
here. Like, come on, let's walk to McDonald's. We'll
That's
get you
not
some
sus.
food."
Like, who's this kid laying on the
They just
sidewalk?
laying in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
So we walked to McDonald's. I ordered like fucking $25 worth of McDonald's,
Yeah.
and after I ate, everything was fine.
That's an
Everything was all
amazing
good.
high school story.
That's
That's the
hilarious.
best fucking time because it's the first time. I wish there was a pill to experience things for the first time again in my life because
That'd be cool.
That raw emotion of just like trying something, you know, and never have done that before.
Well-
I think that's what's so beautiful about childhood is you're getting raised and you're experiencing so many new things and it's like it's
I
just
want to add to that. It's
Yeah.
just called life, dude.
yeah. It's,
Start learning new things,
Yeah.
and you will.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a big
Nice, Luke.
YouTuber.
That's good.
Dude,
I'm a big YouTuber. I
Yeah.
learned how to hunt, how to just generally do a bunch of stuff. Like,
yeah.
especially during COVID, you know, shit's boring. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going out anymore, not seeing anyone. Like, I don't know. Maybe I will learn some woodwork. I didn't want to learn woodworking, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Bro,
Like,
do you watch those videos though with the guys that have the thing where it spins really
Oh, I
fast
watch
and
it.
they fucking
I go
carve
into
it?
wormholes just
I
because I didn't
love
learn it,
those.
but I could tell you how to do it.
I've also watched probably hundreds of epoxy tables getting made.
Oh,
Ooh,
there's
that's
two,
probably
there's, two,
mad
there's two little
satisfying.
Indian guys building the pool.
Oh, I love
Oh,
those!
Yeah.
luxury as hell
Yeah.
too.
Those are good.
They make the
Everyone knows
bricks.
those two guys that just, you know.
I
That's
didn't know everyone knew
that's
those
that
guys.
2
I thought I
a.m.
only knew those guys.
That's that 2 a.m. flipping
Crafty
through.
Panda.
Yep.
Bro, they're big. They're big.
Those are my boys. What
No,
the
they
fuck?
didn't.
Yeah, they have like they got a YouTube award. Swear to God.
I'm
They deserve
telling
that
you.
shit.
Is that hard to do these days?
Yeah, it depends who you
Yeah,
are.
very hard.
We're trying. I'll let you know when I get mine.
Sorry, yeah, you're not right.
Fuck, dude.
You guys will get there though. That's the thing.
This is
Spent 6 hours editing the last episode in case anyone was wondering. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
I don't know how much longer we're gonna do this.
Oh no, I'm in danger.
I was saying it all this weekend. You know, in Tiger King when Joe Exotic goes, "I'm never gonna be able to financially recover from this." Never gonna be able to financially recover from this.
So true.
Yeah, literally. When the lady gets her arm getting eating off, and literally she's got like half a nub, and he goes in the office. He goes, "Okay, everyone, I don't want you to freak out, but one of my employees got her arm ripped off, so we're gonna have to give you a rain check today." And then he turns
told
around and
that
he
to
goes,
people?
"I'm never gonna be able to financially recover from this."
All he was worried about was his finances.
So when I was at 123 last week, and a friend of a friend bought a $1,000 bottle of Don.
Dom.
Dom, D-O-M.
Damn,
I thought in my head,
that's a baller.
I'm
That's
never
a
going to be able to
flagrant
financially
baller move.
recover from this.
That's so funny, actually. That's really funny.
Long story short, everything worked out.
Oh,
But
God.
yeah, it was a
Everything
scary.
worked
It was a
out.
scary 5 minutes.
I'm never going to be able to recover financially from this.
But the
You
random.
see they dropped season 2 of Joe Exotic?
Dude, it's
I
Tiger
haven't seen one.
You
watch
should watch
it.
one.
Watch it.
dude. But like,
You should watch
Well,
one.
to be
it's
honest,
funnier to watch the
In
memes come
retrospect,
through.
it was pretty funny. But the only reason it blew up is because it's right when quarantine happened last
Oh,
year.
100.
And it was
It's
literally
like
the
perfect
first.
timing.
It was the first week of everyone doing nothing. So
Well,
it just blew
we had
up.
like 2 weeks
Yeah.
off. The world had 2 weeks off. I thought
You think
people
if
were
they
gonna be
dropped it
chilling.
again right now, it would
not have done the same.
No.
It wouldn't have done the same.
Well, there's a big
You
allegation.
agree with that?
I think it would have caught some fire, but like it wouldn't have been Squid Game's fire. Like it would not have
Squid
been.
Games is dog
I
shit too.
think it...
I think it would have.
I think it would've. I don't know if much changed.
Very good bingeability. And
Yeah.
that's what everybody wants to see. Somebody just spiraling out
Out
of
of
control.
I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
That's so
You
good.
think Carol Baskin killed Rose?
Fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Right?
That's what season 2 is about.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Have you watched it?
They centered
I only
it
saw
around
like the
that.
first
I saw
half
the
of the
first
first
one,
episode.
yeah. But I was at St. Augustine this weekend. This is a random question, but we were at a bar. Me and my brother-in-laws were talking. We're all in obviously committed relationships. They're both married and I'm engaged. But we were talking about the line. What?
You don't wear a ring?
Yeah, I'm engaged. Wait.
You don't wear a ring when you're engaged.
Yeah,
You don't?
That's a
Oh,
chick
just the
thing.
girl does?
Easily.
Yeah, it's a flex. You know, when the hand is like this.
Mean?
You act like I've done it before.
It's what, Pete?
Just the girl wears the engagement. The girl wears a ring.
Yeah.
Because you engaged her.
Okay, I didn't realize you don't get yourself
You
a ring.
do the
When you get
engaging.
married, you get yourself a ring.
What?
Bullshit.
Oh, it's so misogynistic.
Yo,
it's
how long did it
sexist.
take you to actually like?
So you
get down
agree
on
with
knee
what I'm
and do
saying,
it?
but you're giving me
We
shit for what I'm
We
saying?
dated for 2.5 years before.
This is my co-host.
No, but like it got into your mind. I'm gonna marry this girl. How long did it take you to propose?
I would say like 6 to 8 months.
Were you thinking about it? Were you like, I gotta financially get myself prepared so I can actually handle
a little
this?
bit of both. I mean, like I always say on this, there's no like dove that brings a piece of mail to you on a random Tuesday. And
Oh,
it's
that's
like
what I
it's
thought.
your time to propose. Like there's never like cues for that. You get to a point where you're like, I love this person so much. I don't think. This sounds bad, but I don't think it's gonna ever get any better than this. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds a little bad.
So,
That sounded really bad.
That sounded pretty bad.
no,
You're saying
We're
it's-
definitely
no,
peaking.
You
no,
peaked
hear me out, hear
as
me out.
girlfriend boyfriend. Now you're like, let's go to the next level and see where we can take that.
No. What I'm
That's a
saying
good
is-
save. That's
No.
say yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What I'm saying is like this is amazing. It can't get better than this.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
what
it
I
can't
mean.
get. Oh, I misheard
like,
you.
it can't get any
perfect.
better than this. You know.
Well, that's the thing. I want
It's
to.
not. That didn't mean that. Like I'm.
Did you say it
settling,
the
right?
opposite way
All
the
right,
first
all right.
time? Well, it can't get any worse than
Listen.
this.
Not so we're not tripping on each other. Probably everyone can answer this. How's it living with your significant other? That's a tough subject.
It's
I grew up with 3 girls,
What?
so I was like conditioned into it.
I like-
But holy crap!
I like this conversation. So,
Because this is everything going through Millennial's head right now.
And we're going to spit it back to you because we ask this conversation to a few guests also, and I always am interested in the
Bring
answer.
it.
I like living with my significant other.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just because that's what I'm
and
used
shit,
to
though.
now, you know? Like, I don't know if that's because... I don't know. Yeah, but if I like the person that I'm with, you know, yeah, I want to be with them all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Truth, yep.
But the question that we usually ask guests is, at what point in the relationship do you have that conversation about moving in together?
I think it naturally progresses.
Right, and that's always been my answer, is I've never had that conversation with any girlfriend.
Because realistically, you're either spending all your time at one place or all your time at the other, or switching it up.
Right. And then eventually...
Yeah, I mean, and then you kind of go for it. But, I mean, either you get a place. I mean, did you guys buy this place, or did you have this place?
No, so we went from dating. We moved in together when we were 8 months in. It was not that much. And COVID happened.
So you knew. Like,
yeah, it was also that, and also like
8 months is
let's
long.
dive into it. You know, yeah.
And from my perspective, 8 months is like a long time.
That's a pretty long time.
Yeah.
If I give you more than a year,
well, the
or
older you
almost
get,
a year,
the older you get, the less the stretches. When you're 21 years old and you've been dating for 8 months, you're not moving in together. We were both 25, 26.
You're hitting that age, yeah.
Exactly, you know. But it was like, you know, I told her I want to live with her, you know, and here's the thing: you're either going to learn at a year and a half you don't like living with someone, or at 8 months you not. You know, it's not like there's going to be a huge personality shift in 8 months.
Did you finally move in and figure out like, oh, this is exactly
The
what I
first
knew,
month was
or
hard.
was it kind of a?
The first month was very hard. Because,
have you done it before?
Because at the time I was only seeing her at the weekends. She was living in Fort Lauderdale, so I went from seeing her only on the weekends to living with this girl during COVID.
So
we
you're
were both
actually
in
seeing.
quarantine.
You're full like in.
It went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
And so no, the first month was really fucking hard.
What were the hard parts?
I like my own space, and also I'm very singularly focused. So if I'm watching a show and you're trying to talk to me, I
I'm a
literally
talker.
can't hear you. Some people call it selective hearing.
Yeah.
Paige sometimes will like talk to me like 2 or 3 times, and then she'll say like Nick, and then I'll turn and be like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I'm
even
like that too.
I'm so singularly, and I think it honestly is
Opposite.
a
I'm the
male and
talker.
female thing. I think it's a selective hearing. They say men have selective hearing. But if I'm watching a show or reading a book or on my phone or something, and she just starts talking to me out of nowhere, I don't pick it up. I don't. And so I think that was a little bit frustrating because when I'm on my chill mode after a day of work or the gym or whatever, I just want to hibernate. I want to do whatever I want to do. I want to, whatever.
Right.
Now when you have a partner, her love language is time and quality time.
Yeah.
So her sitting next to me on the couch isn't vegging out. It's talking about our day and life and having a deep conversation.
Right.
For me, it's like I just want to shut my brain off and not talk.
Yeah.
That was really hard at first. So at first, when you go from seeing someone only on the weekends to living with them during quarantine, those conversations like get old very fast. You're like, dude, I don't know what to do. We can't go anywhere. The parks were closed. The restaurants were closed. You literally couldn't do shit.
The parks were closed.
Dude,
That's so
quarantine
dumb
ended
shit.
a lot of relationships, man, because people
But they also
like,
started a lot.
Made
of
a lot,
relationships.
too.
yeah, that's true.
My relationship only exists because of COVID.
That's true.
My career
really?
only exists because
Yeah.
of COVID.
I think you have an awesome career change right there.
Me too.
On your hands,
I'm a
that's
big
a
fan
fun
of my
one,
career
dude.
change.
So
You make your own hours. Being your boss is something of a force. Go ahead.
No. So living with a significant other is hard. I think you realize very fast whether it's going to work out or not. I think with your routines and everything like that. In the end of the day, it's about respect, though. You have to respect their wishes and their wants, and they have to respect your wishes and their wants. They have to understand your timing and how things work. Mm-hmm. So. But back to the question I was going to ask before we went down the living with together hole.
Yes.
You're in a relationship. You go to a strip club on a bachelor party.
Oh, you
something.
ball the fuck out.
Right.
Dude. You throwing hundreds
Right?
at booty.
What is the line if you're in a relationship at the strip club? Can you go to the back room and get a private dance?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
But you can when you're single and probably a little bit more.
So
from I heard.
what is
Only
the
what I heard,
line?
though.
What is the line at a strip club in a relationship?
I mean, I think it depends on your relationship.
All right, so it depends on the strip club too.
Totally depends on
What does that mean?
If
I've
you,
been-
okay,
I've
I
been-
mean,
I've
really
been-
easy. I can answer this. What does
Okay.
that mean for you? If you ask Reed and Audrey this question, and
Okay.
you ask you and Paige this question, do you think the answer is the same?
No.
Right.
Okay.
So it depends on the relationship and the partner
True.
and what you guys are comfortable
what you're
with.
in and what
You
you're
know.
into.
But to give you like more of the answer I think you're looking for, like we've talked about before on the Chris and Reed episode, if you work in the biz, and if you work in the biz, you understand this. You don't go to the strip club because you're there to get lap dances and see strippers. You go there because it's open till 5 a.m. It's the only place to get a drink at any hour of the night after your
Well, I
restaurant
could be
closes.
you, but yeah.
Sure, whatever. Anything. Whatever your reason is.
Yeah, but really, it's the old dudes that are going there for that type
Right. Very few
That's some
people
old
our
shit.
age are going there and buying.
It's the
some
old dudes and the
legend
young
shit.
kids. It's the college kids
Really,
and the
young kids?
Yeah, correct, for sure.
But I will say what the line. I mean, and I want to kind of say this on a light note, but like also depends on the strip club. Some of these friggin' strippers get off, and then some like. So the line would probably be like having her shake a booty in your face or tits in your face, but not really much more than that.
Sure.
And then you fucking get off, but you're not touching your.
And then it depends what county you're in.
Probably be touching.
Because if you, sure.
I would say even touching is a line, but at the same time, if a girl,
Right, touching is
if
not
your
allowed.
girl is like throwing cash at her as she's doing this, or she's just like this, you also just read the line right there.
That's another
Like,
important part, though. Is your girl there or is she
your
not
girl
there?
sick?
She's not there.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. What is the
Right,
line
right.
when your girl's
Oh,
not
I
there?
thought you meant if she was there.
No.
No, right.
Oh,
if your girl's
no.
not there. If your girl's there, it's a whole
Be
different
respectful.
story.
Yeah.
Right.
Be respectful. Tits to your face.
What
That's
was
it.
that?
Don't touch.
What? It's your face. Don't well,
See, I don't think JoJo's even okay with that, to be honest.
I don't think
JoJo,
most girls
I
would be.
think would say,
Yeah.
like, I'd really rather he just not even be there. And to be honest, the way that my relationship is with JoJo and the level of trust that I have with her and the amount that I value that, I'm at the point where I'll be like, okay. You know, like, I don't give a
what are
fuck
you
about
doing?
going to the strip club enough.
Right, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I've got no incentive to
If
be
you
there.
have
You know?
scheme,
like,
what were you saying? What is your initiative? Not your initiative.
what are your intentions?
What are your intentions?
If you
but
went
it's
in
all
there-
about- but that's my point. It's all about intention, right? So if I go there and it's let's just say 5-6 married dudes are on a boys trip and are mid-30s.
Yes.
And you got a best friend. You buy him a private dance because he's like, wow, that chick is hot. Is that over the line?
I'm not okay.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
It's okay to be there. The private dance makes it not okay.
Well, also
No.
like to
Who's
be
it
at a
not
strip
okay
club.
for?
What?
Who's it not okay for?
Someone that's married?
No. Who,
Nah.
are
Right? That's
are
what you were saying?
Are you saying it's you buying a dance for somebody crossing
No,
the
the
line?
guy getting the dance is that crossing
Is
the
he
line?
married?
He's married?
He's married.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to have a stripper dance on you when you're married.
Really?
Unless you're in one of those special relationships where
Yeah,
that's
right.
okay. And I know plenty of those
Because,
exist.
but the bachelor party norm is when you go on a bachelor party and you go into a strip club,
Hey.
you buy the groom a dance.
Yeah,
I
I would
think
say
that's a
that's
conversation that's had, I think, with the wife before that bachelor party.
Yeah, that should.
I think
that's
some
a
things
club.
are not okay. So there's a
Because
little
okay,
thing, and
your
you touched
bachelor
on
party's
this.
coming up.
Yes.
I buy you a dance.
Oh
Yes.
shit!
You're doing. You're
This
taking
is why
it.
he's asking these
You know,
questions.
but she knows that.
Okay,
Going
but that was going to be the next
I've
part
already
of
had
that.
this
She
conversation
knows.
with her. Going
there
into
you go.
There's a line which basically is, and girls don't judge her because I don't know if this is even judging
Girls don't
worthy.
judge me.
But it was the same with my sister and her husband. I'm allowed to get a dance, but I just sit like there's no offensive I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no hey I'm hands by
He's
my
going
knees
in for
and
the
I'm chilling.
justification
You know
right
what I'm
now.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My devil's advocate to that is be like, then why even do it?
All right.
What's the point?
Because
So-
it's one last hoorah. That's the point.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what, yeah. Like, I tried to get Erica, like, when Erica was on her bachelorette, I tried to get her a dude stripper.
So
Yeah,
it's just-
Huh? No, nah.
hey, let me chime in real quick.
Yeah.
I
we should
will
go to
say-
Cheeks.
Cheeks, dude.
Yeah. In Tally. The only strip club in
Yes.
Tally.
So let me chime in on this.
Yeah, it's not even.
Titty
Yeah.
bar.
But okay, so that's the other thing. I think it matters what county you're in and what strip club you're at. Because in Tampa, it's like they're not getting naked. So I feel a lot less guilty being in Tampa strip clubs.
No, Tampa did-
Not if they serve alcohol.
Not if they, right.
If they
Correct.
serve alcohol,
Right.
listen to how weird this is. There's two types of strip clubs in Tampa. They either get naked and they're dry bars. There's no alcohol served. You can bring your own. They'll be like, yeah, there's a fucking fire gas station right across the street. Go get a 6-pack. You can bring it in.
Yeah. If you
And
want
you
to.
pay like a
not know
fat cover
this.
charge, or they wear underwear and bra, and the bar serves alcohol. But it's one or the other.
Wow. And that's a county ordinance? What is
Yeah,
It's
it
like
has to do with the
yeah,
county.
It's
yeah.
like, Miami's not like that.
Palm Beach
Yeah,
County is
sure.
wild. Those
Yeah,
girls
Palm Beach
butt
is
ass
all
naked,
like,
Yeah, they probably
Going to
yeah.
race.
flaps in your
Even
face.
the ones that were kind of like, oh yeah, you're supposed to probably pop off too. I hate to say it like that. Hey, let me answer this. So,
Yeah, okay.
also, have you just been to a strip club, bought an expensive table, had some rounds, and then like you're kind of just looking like a weirdo, just like looking at strippers? Like it's fun, and I'm the kind of that guy because I'm not like too uncomfortable at strip clubs where I'll put a big stack of money on the table with an arrow. Or like some bullshit, and then a stripper, I'll be like, "Hey, what's up? Like, come dance," and it just livens up the party.
Sure.
So I'm not really getting a lap dance. I'm not like into it. Like, oh, I can't wait
You
to
just
see
participate.
see some boobs. But like, dude, you got a strip club. Like, let's see some dance. Like,
Yeah.
it's an entertainment more than anything.
Yeah.
And they're not like, I hate to say it like this, but like, they're not entertainment. But like, they're there to do a job, and it's like you treat them with respect. They're getting paid like
Yeah.
a motherfucker because I'm definitely throwing ones.
I think entertainers is like the respectful word. To use
It
for
is,
them.
and they and dude, what they do, especially if they're swinging from the freaking ceilings and like getting off like in a sense of like on the pole. But yeah, getting off,
Just flicking beans.
yeah, just getting a little wet water works, you know. So it's just one of those things.
I usually wear my poncho.
I wear my little my little rubber boots whenever I go in there.
You got them on now. What are we doing after this?
Cheeks.
Yeah, it's sick.
Just out here flicking.
Just out here flicking bean.
But I'm
This
telling
has
you,
been
I
a
think
funny
it's.
episode.
Are you trying to start the party, or do you have an intention of getting a lap dance? That's
But
the last thing
also-
I'm doing in a strip club. In a sense of like, I'd rather just like, you know, ball out with the boys.
Just there to hang out with my friends.
hang.
And I think it's sus if you're with a next to a married guy and he's like walking to a strip club like an arcade room. He's like, yeah, I can't wait to fucking get my dance.
Those exist.
Have you
for
seen
sure.
those where they're like
exist.
just drinking their
Yeah.
beer and just like looking
Yeah,
over?
it's a
Like,
huge red
that's
flag.
what you feel like
But
too.
if you're fucked up with your boy and like there's like a for most of the time dances are bought with me and my buddies whenever this ever happened, it will be someone that they're so not attracted to, right? So I'll have like a little
Oh, no,
skinny
no
white
shot.
friend and we'll get like the biggest, you know,
That is mad
stripper
funny
that,
to
you know,
do, for
so,
sure.
As like a joke, and the stripper will walk up, and at that point, my boy can't say no, and it's like hilarious. They go back for 2 minutes, and for girls or people who have never experienced this, a dance is as jovial or not jovial as you want to make it. You could be like laughing the whole time and be like joking and being like, at any point you could be like, okay, that's enough, I'm fucking leaving. You know, it's not like. It's not like you go to a back room and she starts sucking your dick. It's not like that at all, you know. But it happened.
Depends where you're at and how much money your friends gave her.
Yeah. Well, I will say, last time I was at a strip club,
you know.
on that note,
Wait,
that-
what?
Little pole duster?
Oh, that's in the wrong name.
Yeah, wrong.
Sandusky.
Not the right one, my guy.
We're gonna bleep that
Not the
shit.
right one.
You gonna bleep that one?
I was thinking of.
Is that gonna be a new thing to
the
bleep?
Patriots era,
Yeah.
Wrong crack.
called craft action.
yo, that was a big thing. They were doing busts from Vero all the way down, dude. That's crazy to me. That was the biggest bust.
That's not a good one.
I really wasn't before, but I can't believe how big it actually was. Like that's some like on one other. That's some other shit, dude.
You guys
People
ever
are
watch
getting
Steve
those,
Will
like,
do it?
Yeah.
You see how many handies he gets?
Dude.
It's
lot.
it's
Wait,
just a thing.
Like what?
You know who Steve Will do it is? You're
of
a fellow
course.
YouTuber.
Yeah, no
He's a
boys,
big
what?
fan of the handy,
Yeah.
the tug
Love
job.
to get handies.
So he goes to massage parlors
Doesn't
like
he, like,
all
have
the
a
time.
girl?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gone once with his girl. Yeah, one time he brought his girl. He goes, make
Is
sure you
that
get
some
finger
like
blasted.
reverse cuck shit? Because that would be something cool I would see in a trade.
Nah, it was separate.
Right, not in the same
She's
room.
getting-
She goes
she's
in her
getting
own
off
room.
too, like-
But he gave her money and was like, "Yeah, go get finger blasted by the massage lady."
Have you guys ever met a swinging
That's a weird
couple?
relationship. What would you feel about
Have you ever
being
met
in
a
one like
swinging
that?
couple?
No chance.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be either.
Like in
no,
person? You ever met a swinging couple?
Yeah, for sure.
It's really big in Vero.
Really?
Palm Beach Island too. People with money love that shit.
If you have
Oh,
money and
you're
you're
right,
over,
you're right.
the rich boomers love that shit.
Right,
But a
yeah.
lot of divorces come of it too, because like they fall in love with their swing
A
partners
client
and
of
shit.
mine that I had recently, I told you.
Yeah.
I got those vibes.
Um,
He kept telling. Never mind. I
Yeah.
don't want to say that.
because
just in case.
I don't know if I'd be like scared or excited if I walked into a house. And I'm not saying I'm not about swinging, but like if I,
Scared or
You're
excited?
not saying you're
Little
not
of
about
both.
what? No, I'm not. I'm not about it. I'm saying like I don't know where I'll be in 20 years. But, you know.
What do you have a new
Yeah.
top to go hit?
No, like listen. I'm not saying I'm swinging, right? I'm saying I'm
In 20
not
years,
swinging.
maybe.
Yeah, but
I mean, like I'm not saying I'm doing it
I
right
can't
now.
predict-
After
future.
20 years of doing the pile driver, you might want to switch it up.
You should
never
try
know.
that, boys.
Yeah.
Put it up in your routine.
But do you imagine like walking into a house and people are just like running wild, fucking? I don't know.
Like a big
dude.
orgy kind of situation?
Yeah,
that's some shit that
basically
you
what swinger
YouTube,
parties
bro.
are.
But there's,
Or
I
not
think there's a
YouTube,
little bit of a difference. There's a difference between a swinger couple and
There's levels.
one
There's
couple and
levels
another
of shit,
couple
yeah.
doing it together, and then a house of just people doing it all over the
I
place.
did not think this podcast would go in this direction.
I'm glad it did. It's
Yeah.
pretty
I
fun.
really do. I love the whole BS sesh. Let's keep
Will
it
you
going.
pass me another pineapple?
So Luke, as a landlord, what would you say was your craziest story?
All right, so I'm gonna try to keep this in a sense where everything I've done in real estate has always been a learning moment. Like you say this all the time and you hear it all the time. It's like you learn something new every day in real estate. Now, when you get into being a landlord, you have real life people and you want to wish the best in people. My third Airbnb guest in did not live up to those standards. And it sucks because she was a good girl for what it seemed like, but like every other guest was welcoming. They're like, hey, I was like, this is on my premises. Like, I live in the main 2-1, and then I have a studio apartment behind my garage, and it's decked out. It's like a luxury little setup. It's awesome. This is when I was doing weekends, though, or just like whatever they wanted. I was just testing the waters.
So was it on Airbnb?
It was on Airbnb,
Yeah.
and thank God I'm going to touch on this, too,
Yeah.
and why I'm hyping on Airbnb, because big shout out. God, I'm kind of getting goosebumps. So there was this situation where, you know, the past guests, they want to be shown around, like walked in, like what's going on, like, yeah, here's a coffee maker, this is beautiful, here's the land. I'll tell them about, like, I have a snowmobile trail that goes through, but in the summer, like, you could leaf peep and walk this trail. This one didn't, and I just had a weird feeling, and I remember calling my mom, because me and her are teammates together, and I was just like, I have a weird feeling about this one, like, should I, like, not to be like this, should I take a picture of the license plate? Like, it was that sketchy.
Yeah.
When you have a gut feeling in real estate or in life, just take it and run with it, or at least question it and be like, what is going on, and take the right procedures, because you'd rather kind of be on a sketchy note and be safe or kind of like reassured, but you're going to hear it. It's like, they never came out. It was not like they never came out like I'm watching them again, but like I live on the premises and they were there for a weekend. So didn't want to be shown in. They just rushed in. I'm like, all right, this is interesting. And they started moving like a bunch of things, and this was for a weekend. But I was like, all right, it's St. Patrick's weekend. Maybe they're partying. I might have to clean up more or whatever. Turns out she was definitely partying. Like, I went to go move out or do like the turnover, and she didn't check out. So I was calling. I was like, it's the 10 a.m. checkout. Just so you know. And have you ever been in a hotel and you just hung over shit and you stayed past like the thing? People would come in and be like, oh, she's like an hour.
I always ask for the late checkout.
So I really thought she was just hungover or something, because it was St. Patrick's weekend. It was one of those things. So I gave her the benefit of the doubt, but now 1 o'clock rolls around and she's not answering. I haven't heard anything. And I remember going up to my roommate at the time and being like, I need you to come with me and check this. Just because, like, I'm going to be walking into a lady's, I don't want anything.
That was very smart of you, bro.
But the smarter thing would have done is to call the cops for a wellness check, is what they call it.
Right. Welfare.
If you think anything is going on, like, just call the cops. That's what they're there for.
Right.
That's taxpayer money. In a sense where I wish I did, because this was like soul staining. She partied too hard, and I literally walked in on somebody who OD'd. So, like, it was a situation where I didn't know what to do. I just immediately picked up 911. I was like, hey, what's going on? Like, they were like, can you do CPR? I'm like, I think it's past that. There just happened to be a cop, like, almost like on the other street. So he was there. He ran in and came very slowly out. And he was like, yeah, like, unfortunately, she passed away. So
and this was the tenant.
This is the tenant. And I kid you not, like, I thought I was on a high horse. Like, I just became a landlord. This is going in. I'm like, I'm hyped on this, and I'm actually making good money doing this well. And then this happens. Yeah. So a lot of things kind of go on there, but to touch on learn from experiences, like, I should have never walked in. I should have just called the cops and been like, hey, like, there's a possibility of this. When I did walk in, I walked into, like, what I've never seen before, and I can honestly say that was every dust, rock, and bag I've ever seen in every different color laying on the table. It freaked me out. I still, like, kind of see this shit, in a PTSD moment. But, like, you kind of learn from it. So, like, okay, you're on a high horse. You're kind of doing your things just so, like, you think you know what you're doing. And then this knocks you down, but, like, you learn from it. You build off of it. Yeah, the last 2 years were pretty hard, because the year following on, like, that very day in March, a fucking tree falls on my house, and I'm sitting right where it fell. I just happened to install oversized LVL on the top. Yeah. And I think that's the only thing saved my life. I heard this bitch crack and grabbed my dog and only made it 10 feet. And then after I heard it crash down my house, I'm like, all right, I'm alive. Let's get the fuck out of here. So, like, it's not any one thing, but those are the two craziest things, because they happen within a week, maybe on the same day. Like, you just don't know what to expect in life. But from that, you freaking grow, like, in a sense where, like, holy crap, like.
So back to the tenant that passed.
Yeah.
What was, now, you walk in and it's something I've never seen. Have you ever been in a situation like that before? Where
I've
walk
never
seen a
seen
dead
a body.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I've never seen a dead body. It was
other than like an open casket.
I still think she haunts my house 100. I'm not even going to trip.
Really?
Yeah. There's some weird situations.
That's an interesting thing to.
Yeah, that's trippy.
I had some tenants that had cats, and this is kind of coming out. So if I never told you, it's probably because I didn't really think too much of it. Shout out to Airbnb because the insurance covered everything on it.
Okay.
It was weird. I don't want to go into the details too much, but just know Airbnb insurance is sick.
That's
but going back to the ghost story, holy crap. So her time of death was around like 4 a.m. within like a 12-hour period, which is like, but these two girls that were living there brought 2 cats for like the last month because they were just moving in together. They were moving out to like kind of expand their life and their career. And I was like, yeah, bring your cats. So every day at 4 a.m., they would just freak out.
Really?
Like just flipping around. And now I have some shit happening where like at night, the power just in the bedroom goes out. Like the breaker will just flip, the lights will flicker, and dude, I'm telling you right now, if you don't think ghosts are real.
So that was gonna be my next question. You believe in ghosts?
Oh, in real estate, you see it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, you get weird feelings. Houses are a little darker. Like it's just. There's one I was like, there's a weird feeling in this house, and I'm only gonna bring this up culturally wise. Like Asian people will ask you, be like, has anyone died in this house?
Really?
Because they don't fuck with ghosts.
Really?
Oh, yeah, big time. So I was with an Asian couple, and I was like, something is funny about this house. I don't know what it is yet. And as a realtor, I hype on the good because it's out of my jurisdiction to say if anything's bad. So I got to kind of, that's good. This could be redone. Well, I'm bring someone like you in to actually give quotes. So I'm like, something's weird. I go into the garage. There's a big ass pentagram, like carved, like it was like somebody was just there, like.
My god!
It was the most nuts thing.
It's
a star upside down
Yeah,
with a circle and like
yeah.
witchcraft and satanic bullshit.
I'm getting the fuck out.
But then like my weird obsession is those ghost shows, and I can't even watch them anymore because a lot of that shit has happened. I've seen it, and I kind of come
If someone
back to
gave you
it.
that house for free, would you live in it?
Yeah.
100. If you
Okay.
get a house for free, go live in it.
Yeah.
Even with the satanic shit?
I'll wait till weird things start happening.
Rent it out.
Yeah, Airbnb,
But what if-
baby.
what if
I'm using that
that's-
insurance.
You could say haunted house, and I guarantee you people
will come.
Like an attraction.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
do that. They do that all
But
throughout
I don't
New
want to
England.
be the one
I
living in
would.
the haunted house.
I would get a regular house that wasn't
If you told
haunted.
me I
But
had
you
to-
could not sleep. Every
Hold on.
creak or take you here.
Hear me
Yeah,
out,
you blame
hear
it
me
on the
out.
ghost.
Yeah.
This is me and JoJo's next business venture. We're gonna get a regular house that isn't haunted, and then Airbnb it, but market it as a haunted house. And me and JoJo will be the ghosts in the attic and in the walls and
That's
stuff, dressing up to
illegal.
scare people and pretend like it's haunted.
Until you get your ass shot.
It's a safe haunting.
Yeah.
Nothing too bad will happen.
It's a haunted house, but
Literally
we
the
also
first
no
time you try
weapons
it.
are permitted on the premises.
No. Or there
First
will
time you
actually
try
be a
it, you
ghost.
and JoJo just have your outfits on. There you go.
Don't do that in
You
Florida.
jump out and then you just get popped by a dude
Yep.
taking a piss.
Don't do that in
We're
Florida.
vlogging it.
Live stream.
All right, guys,
Yeah.
thanks for another episode of the Millennial Mentality.
Yeah.
Here we are in our first haunting.
You'll be doing that in heaven, I'll tell you
Man, that got dark.
Yeah.
It usually does.
So, Luke, on the last note,
Yeah.
if you want to leave the viewers with something, a word of advice, or anything to do in life, what would it be?
And I kind of bring this back to it. If you have a goal you think you're going to like strap down, think you're going to progress your life towards it, I don't know how I said it earlier, but literally just mark your calendar to be determined and grind towards that goal. Don't be going out partying. Don't be doing all that shit. Like, still network and still keep in touch with your friends. But, like, if you grind for 3 years, you'll make it, dude. Like, I'm on my 3rd year right now, and I'm like, holy crap. Like, this feels good.
paying
All my
off.
work is, like, finally paying off.
Yeah.
Really? And that's amazing. And it really shows that consistency is
It's
the
key.
ultimate king.
But like a lot of my friends are calling me these days, and they're like, "What do I do?" Blah blah. They're almost getting like a nervous, like, because they're at that 3-year mark, and they
100%.
know they're doing well, but they don't know if they want to continue doing it. And you have to be like, "Well, look at yourself. Like, do you like where you live? Do you like the lifestyle you're currently living? And lifestyle being, you're the only one in the city. Even if you made new friends, like your family is across the country. Like, so." It's really how you live and how you determine things, but realistically, just grind towards it. And anybody will really tell you that. That 3rd year is like, you'll see success. You might not feel it completely, but you're like, damn, like I've been hustling and I can see the payoff, at least close ahead. Like, I'm not saying I made it. I'm saying like,
sure.
holy crap, I'm now gained that experience and knowledge because I've been doing it every day. And like I said, you learn everything new, like every day. And I don't care what business you're in.
Yeah.
And you just grind it out and just stick with it, man.
Yeah, I heard this analogy the other day. They talk about NFL quarterbacks. The more skilled you get, the slower the game is played. Meaning that as a quarterback drops back to pass, the more IQ as a quarterback they have, the slower things are happening. They're seeing
field
guys
awareness.
move, and they have that awareness and they have that clarity. I feel like the more you get into a profession or a path, the more things start slowing down, right?
the less
So
you
you're
rush
seeing
things.
Damn, I like that a lot.
You're seeing things as a tattoo artist now that make sense, and as you do it, little things, little things that you're. And that's all add up to just make the game be played slower, right? And you get cues or you hear things or you meet a guy, you take one thing off of him, and before you know it, it's compounding interest on this idea and concept where time and consistency, that's ultimately where that wisdom is born. You're not going to get there.
And then adapted from.
Exactly. And that game don't slow down with just that experience and that time. A lot of people in this 5 seconds of I need it now mentality is they don't get that the game slowing down, that clarity, just because they haven't put the time in to get there.
Yeah.
It takes time, and so know that if you start out on a path and you really like it, but a year into it you're questioning it because you're not the boss of the fucking company yet, or you're not the manager.
That's a millennial mentality.
Don't have that mentality, because you got to understand that those bosses who are 45 and 50 and they have that wisdom and experience, it took them 15 fucking years to get there.
Boomers do not want to hand it down to
No.
millennials. Like, they are really gung-ho. I get a bunch of, like, belittling age-wise.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me because, like, I'll have to tell Mama Dukes, because I'm a partner with her, and be like, hey, can you just go talk to this? And likewise with other cultures.
Yeah,
she tells me just because I'm a dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy out there. So, like, boomers, just chill out. Like, it really does come down to that. But, like, breath of fresh air, you're freaking starting to help people grow. So now you earn that respect and earn that knowledge, and now you can pass it down to your friends.
Right. And, like, kind of piggybacking off of that a little bit.
Yep.
Another thing that I think that people are, like, too afraid of, or, like, helps people get to the next level that they don't realize is, like, sometimes you just have to, like, take action, which we've talked about plenty of times, you know, and you just need to be, like, you know, making an effort and trying, you know, or, like we were saying earlier, you can learn a lot of things online now, like, almost anything on YouTube.
University is huge.
Huge. And more often than not, when you have a venture, like, in your mind that you're thinking, this could be my next thing, or this would be a good idea, or this is a path that I should entertain, too many people keep it in that idea stage, you know, where, like, this is what I want to do and this has a lot of potential, but they don't take any action on that, you know, so it never elevates from that idea stage.
They make the recipe, but they never cook the fucking cake.
And
That's called analysis paralysis. I get that a bunch.
Nice. That's really good analysis
I get that
paralysis. I like that.
And because you want everything to be perfect, and then you set it up and you're almost just drained. You're like, this isn't doable, and you kind of talk yourself out of it.
Because you set this perfect expectation that's impossible to achieve. I think too many people do that.
It's not diving in and learning as you go, but, like, create a loose plan, but, like, create a thing that you're pretty good at. Start there, and then once people ask for something new, see if you can add it to your repertoire. Because odds are you can, but if you try to be the full package right away, sometimes you're just a niche guy. You know?
Dude, I mean, damn, what you're saying right now resonates so well with me with tattooing. In the sense where when I first started tattooing, you know, I had an artistic background. I've been an artist my whole life. I knew there was a niche that this was going to work for me, you know? I had been doing graffiti.
And your clientele is your boys.
And I had a good book of people that I knew from the restaurant world.
And they'll refer to you.
So when I first started, I thought I might only do font and calligraphy, you know, and wording and lettering, because that's all I had really practiced. Sure. That's all that I had been practicing in my adult life, you know, like was doing lettering and sign work and having good handwriting. And so when I first started, that was a lot of my tattoos, you know, because that's kind of how I was marketing myself. That's the stuff that I was expressing that I was comfortable to do. And so people were trusting me to do, you know, font, Roman numerals, shit like that. And that was a great way to start and, like, learn the fundamentals and get my practice down and get, you know, really good with line work and good at filling in the letters solid black, you know. You get comfortable with the machine, you get comfortable with the technique, and you get the basics down first, you know. And then as I realized, you know, like, wow, I really like doing these lettering things, but now that I realize how the machine works and how this whole process works, I think I could do some pictures too, you know.
And then that's when you kind of dive in.
I'm learning how to analyze everything. I see a picture now, and I don't just see the picture. I see all the things that make that up, the outline, the shades that go into it, the colors, you know, like I can really break it down.
Well, my experience with you was I knew Pete for a while. I remember Pete the Plug, would be like literally kind of playing with his tats and drawing some more.
Yeah.
And then I was like, saw him go into tattooing. And from there, I watched his progression. And at that time, I was like, yo, Pete, get ready. You're about to do my tat.
Yeah.
And I would send things back and forth. You're like, you don't want that. It's going to fade after a while.
Yeah.
So like your knowledge of just picking things up along the way, all the way to this fire tat, which I probably wouldn't have trusted anybody else with.
Thank you.
Unless, like, I mean, there are some tattoo artists. I'm not saying
Of course,
anything
yeah,
that,
yeah.
But my boy did this. We got together today. We 100% kind of niched it all together. It's a
Right.
pinup girl, which was way harder than I thought it was going to be. I was
Sure.
like, oh, yeah, like, these are cool. Like, let's see what's going on. No, it got pretty
There's
detailed.
a lot of things to take into consideration
And
for how
he
you
was
want it to
doing-
look.
You were doing shit by hand, getting into it. I'm like, dude, like, you have a knack for this.
Thank you.
You could. It's your calling, man. I hope
Thank
you
you, man.
much
Appreciate it.
success.
Thank
100.
you. But back to our, original topic, I learned a ton off you. I still, to this day, 2 years into my career tattooing, every single day, I still finish up a tattoo and then go in bed, smoke a blunt, and watch YouTube videos on tattooing. Learning tutorial videos on how to tattoo.
Sometimes it's one little thing to be more efficient for 1 second.
Knowing that I was doing a pinup today, last night I watched videos of people doing pinup tattoos just to get that little
that
bit of
fresh
insight
take.
of,
Yeah.
when I'm doing a face to get softer tones, I do this, which I haven't, it
thankful
wasn't
for
on
you.
my brain,
Dude, this
But
is
I do that every
fire.
day, like I know the client that I have the next day, and I'm not literally saying I researched the tattoo from the night before every day.
I would hope you would.
Yeah, in a perfect world, that's exactly what I would do. I don't want to fake this down here
Yeah.
and pretend like I'm doing homework every night. But I'm a student.
On something that you don't
You're a
know
student
and
of
you're
the
trying to
I'm
fresh up.
Right, this was
Especially
my
something
second
new.
pinup I've ever done. I wanted to make sure we really
You're
knocked
not
it
going
out
to
of
do
the
that
park.
on calligraphy
So I
anymore.
did homework. Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
You do it when you need to, and you kind of brush up.
Absolutely.
Like,
But I'm a student of the game, and I enjoy it. Like I really thoroughly enjoy watching it, learning it, and I'm grateful that we live in this world now where we have like almost an unlimited access to information.
have it unlimited.
And if there's something that you're passionate about that you see people making money doing, you've got the potential to do that as well. It's not going to come easy. I didn't become a tattoo artist overnight because I used to draw pictures
especially
as a
if you
kid.
could put your niche on it too. Like
People love that.
People are
want
doing
that.
it, but like, how do you make it better?
Your own. People want that.
When I walked in your studio, you want a water? Are you feeling hungry? Like, it's like a good vibe. It's
Yeah.
clean. I know. OCD Pete over
That
here.
was one of the first things you said.
I was like, I just know I'm getting a clean tat today.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and you walk in, you're not really even knowing the background of this dude, and he's like, looking, like he maybe not have showered. So it's like,
right.
it's a nice thing. It's refreshing when you actually have someone who cares about what they do and clean naturally.
Sure. And that's
tattoo.
that's the first thing I told you, like something that I really am grateful for and value is the background that I have in the hospitality industry.
Oh,
and
yeah, huge.
The fact that I take that mentality and putting the customer first and making the client feel comfortable over anything else and bringing that into the tattoo experience, which I think is lacking, like the world is so used to the intimidating tattoo shop where you walk in and it's just flash art all over the walls, a bunch of fucking tatted dudes, and hopefully you know what you want because they don't really feel like sitting down with you and figuring it out,
Well, they got so busy too. Their books are probably stacked, and if
they want to
not,
get you in and get you out.
Get you out. Yeah,
But that's not the
exactly.
experience anyone is looking for these days.
And that's your niche.
Right.
Well, you're clean, and you kind of put a little hospitality to it. Like,
Yeah.
That's
you
the
need
goal,
to
man.
feel comfortable because if they're dragging a needle too, like, it's just like, oh, this, like, just get me the F out of here.
It's already an intimidating experience as it is, just by the nature of what you're signing up for.
you're
So
signing up for pain.
The artist
end
and the
today
shop
was-
should be doing everything they can to make that experience less intimidating and more comfortable.
But also, it's not that hard these days to be better. Like
Personable.
what, the few little things, not little things, but the few things Pete does. Maybe it was $100 or maybe 2-second offer or whatever it is, right? But the offer is what shifts the perspective of someone and makes them feel comfortable very fast.
That's great advertising too.
And there's a
Great
reason.
advertising technique.
There's a reason that every time a guest comes over for a podcast, I have a food spread. There's drinks out. I want
Right.
them to feel comfortable. I want them to feel at ease if they want a water or a beer or a
Did you have
shot.
that set up for me, and I went and got a pub sub
Yeah,
instead?
so look at it.
God damn it, dude.
But
okay,
and-
I ate it.
it's the little things, it's the little details that make someone feel comfortable in an experience, and that's what they'll take. I mean, they'll look at the quality, but when they
Look at
tell
your studio right here,
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Right.
but when they tell their friends about Pete, it's not gonna be like it could be he was the best tattoo artist, but I went there and I felt so comfortable and it was just a really good experience, and that's what people are looking for these days, looking for experiences. They're not really they're looking for a product, but to make that experience and
especially if
make a
something's so
difference there.
permanent
Yeah,
that
sure.
you're gonna look down and be like, "Oh, that was weird,"
Yeah.
or "No, dude, this dude was sick." Like it was
Right.
one of the better
Yeah.
experiences. Of
In
my
South
life.
Florida, there is hundreds of artists that can do great
Yeah.
tattoos, but I think
What's gonna
it's what
separate
separates you
Yeah.
is being able to offer that experience that makes the guest comfortable. And especially, like
That-
you were just
that
saying,
runs
sometimes
everything.
people are getting tattoos in intimate areas too, you
Yeah.
know? And,
Oh, dude, I was making fun of Pete so much.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
making
we
fun
got
of him,
up
but,
high
like,
on that thigh, boy.
Oh, he goes. "Doo-doo-doo." I'm like, come on now.
It's because you're my friend.
That was a little bit.
Well, Luke, you're an amazing guy, man. I'm so glad I got to meet you. I've heard such great things.
Appreciate
And
it.
thank you for coming on.
It was my pleasure.
I think we'll have you on eventually. Maybe we'll bring him and Heath back on.
I need
That'd
to
be
do
fun,
a duo
yeah.
with Heath.
That would be fun.
We'll figure it out.
Let's
Let's
do
get
it.
that
And,
plan for sure.
If they want to look you up, you're just Luke Dunn on Instagram.
Luke Dunn Realtor.
Yep.
We'll throw everything
give me
in
a
the
holler.
description.
I do want to say, if you're even thinking about buying a house and you just don't really want to call a realtor, I know that's another intimidating thing because they're silly. I mean, a couple years I thought that was basically a used car salesman. That's what I was thought
Sure,
of.
yeah.
But I want to change that perspective too. So talking about changing something, like, give me a holler. Like, tell me exactly what you want to do. See if it's even feasible.
Sure.
Like, I won't give you the, oh yeah, anybody could do it. Let's just go buy a house. No, it's like, are you able to buy a house, or do you need a condo? Do you want to actually do lawn work, or do you want to just have someone pay for it? Like,
Right.
there's a lot of pros and cons. Or like, do you want to eventually rent it? There's so many questions and so many facets or faucets, whatever you want to say, of real estate. If you have a question, give me a holler.
Yeah.
Hit me up on DMs and we'll figure it out.
Luke Dunn, making dreams come true. Fuck. That was a
Ooh.
really good outfit.
Yeah. Do we want to?
I don't know. Let me see if it cut it off.
Well,
Yeah, it's nah, nigga. I've been outside, I'm just trying to get it. Cause when you only fear God, well, the sky's the limit. Got me speeding through this life, going 200 a minute. Probably sliding with them packs and something nice that's tinted. And if that little bitch a foreign, then Lil Nar was in it. And I know them boys talking like all that renting. We'll come and rent it for a minute, bet it cost you a ticket. Tryna double up them racks, dog, that's just how I'm living. Look, exclusive lifestyle, my dog, he been pumping it. Grinding 7 days a week, that young boy hustling. We can slide the Benz, slide the Euros at a Cullinan. Had these niggas bitches wildin' out on some other shit. We just want the bag, screaming MOB like fuck a bitch. Millennial mindset, tattoos in the podcast. Ask you what you tryna do, but you ain't got the time yet. My dog up 2 hustles, you ain't on your grind yet. Like how I'm still up and ain't get paid for my rhymes yet. I guess it ain't time to sign on that dotted line yet. It's cool, I deal with straight cash, I rarely use a sign check. Really need that rollie for my wrist for the time check. Cause all I'm ever into is getting money and having bomb sex. Look, just for a second, dawg, don't take this out of context. Just because I'm short, dawg, don't think I got a complex. When you hear my music, I promise you're gon' say I'm next. I know these niggas hating, they gon' treat this like a contest. So I'ma spit them bars that oppress a nigga conscience. Cause one thing's for sure and another's for certain, that I'm in love with the grind and now I'm constantly working. I can't chill till I'm in that triple M with the curtains. Got me fucking up that sack for the days I was hurt. But I still don't trust too many cause these niggas be serpents. Soon as you show a little love, you can see them get nervous. So I'ma treat them like my ops and I'ma roll them up perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, bitch, yeah. It's no, nigga.